So today I'm going to talk about something very interesting in this video. And this is not just a video, it's a tribute from my side to all the wonderful HR professionals, HR leaders, HR business partners, and centers of expertise HR professionals that I have worked with in my experience of last 15 years. So I'm going to share with you some of those common traits or some of those common qualities which make them really successful HR professionals. And this comes out from all the observations that I had. So take this video as a tribute from my side to them. So starting with the first thing which I observed, which was so common and great about all of them, was the fact that all of them were very, very high on integrity. They were all people with unquestionable integrity. They would always do the right thing. And this sounds a lot philosophical, but I truly mean it. This is what they stand for. And it goes without saying that, HR professional, being the conscious keeper of the company or being the owner of all the business manuals, conduct manuals, the values of the company, has to be somebody of unquestionable integrity. That is the number one or the most non-negotiable trait or a quality that you will see in a HR professional. The second piece which kind of hit home for all of them was the fact that their understanding of business and their ability to connect HR with business was absolutely seamless. In almost all situations, they were able to connect or have a dialogue with a business leader in their language and introduce a HR solution which would solve a business problem. Be it through a training intervention, be it through an incentive intervention, or any kind of HR strategy that you could think of. This is something which came so naturally to all of them. The third piece was actually about the HR leaders here being very, very strong people managers and also being very strong team leaders for their own HR teams. They will always invariably lead by example. And in almost all the situations, those HR leaders knew very well, like we say in a disc, when they should be on the dance floor and when they should be standing on the balcony. And standing on the balcony in this context means when should they give complete freedom to their teams and empowerment to their teams so that they can be successful, and when should they go on the dance floor where they should participate in a problem and help them find a solution if they are stuck. So they would give that huge amount of autonomy and ability to their teams, which would help them help the teams to become better HR professionals. So they are people developers, very clearly. The fourth piece is about having those marketing skills or the selling skills to sell HR as a function to business. Because no matter what we say, still there are a lot of businesses or still there are a lot of leaders who may not understand everything about HR as a subject or HR as a function or what all can HR bring on the table. So these HR professionals or these HR leaders would invariably be very, very strong in marketing HR as a function and selling HR as a function to those business leaders. And I share a very quick example of one of the interventions that happened in a greenfield site where gender diversity or bringing female technicians on the shop floor was one of the interventions. And selling and bringing something of that magnitude requires a lot of HR marketing and a lot of HR selling, which was done at that point in time. So invariably that becomes a very, very important skill set. One more interesting piece which you will always find, which I always found in these successful HR professionals, was about having a very, very strong backbone. In almost all situations, in almost a lot of situations, any HR professional would come across tough situations where you will have a dialogue with a business leader or with a customer or with an employee. So you have to have a very strong backbone. You have to be somebody who always does the right thing there and is able to take tough calls. And you like it or not, that's the tough part of being a HR professional. A lot of times you have to give the bad news. And you will do it only if you have a strong backbone. And you have to stand by it. So that makes a lot of HR professionals different from a lot of other HR professionals who are not that successful. And now coming to the last point, which to me becomes a kind of very, very interesting one, is about HR coming across as a neutral function. This is where I see a lot of HR professionals who could not grow beyond a point, failing. A lot of times you may be seen as a person who plays favorites. That is actually the end of the journey of being an HR professional if you come in that bracket. HR professional has to come across as somebody who is very, very neutral, who thinks for the people, who has a very objective outlook of doing things for the people in the company. This is one trait, one successful trait, which differentiates almost each and every HR great professional from a mediocre HR professional. And apart from these qualities, I think there are a lot of them, but today I would like to restrict it to some of those 5 qualities which make HR professionals successful, and this is what I've observed in my experience. So if you're liking what I'm doing through this channel, please subscribe to the channel HR Shorts with Atulya, hit the bell icon so that you can get notifications. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, bye-bye.